Well, now let me pull up a chair and tell it like it is. You ever watch a summer storm sneak up on you? One minute the air's thin and crisp, maybe a little static in your hair, and the next, boom, the sky comes down swinging. That's what happened to two young fellas out in Colorado's San Juans, Andrew Porter and Ian Stasko. Just 25 and full of grit, went chasing elk with bows and backpacks, thinking they were in for a week of mountain song and maybe a bull or two in the freezer. Instead, they crossed paths with lightning, the kind of meeting where you don't shake hands, you just vanish. Andrew came out of Asheville, North Carolina, raised where the Blue Ridge rose gentle but firm. Folks said he could track a rabbit through fog or coax flame out of a soggy pine knot. He was engaged, too, had a future sketched out. Ian was a Utah boy, free-spirited and snow-tested, who swapped skis for broadheads come September. Bow hunting wasn't a hobby for either of them. It was a language, a way to measure themselves against the land. When they met, it was like iron striking flint, quick friendship, bright sparks, shared camps. Now the San Juans don't play nice. Unit 81 down in Conejos County near New Mexico is elk country in the truest sense. Steep ridges, 11,000-foot air that makes a flatlander's lungs beg for mercy, and weather meaner than a mule with a sore back. That's where Andrew and Ian pitched their tent. They scouted, they glassed, they bugled at dawn. Their Garmin pings showed steady progress, like footsteps in digital dust. But mountains don't keep appointments. On September 12th, the sky built up a thunderhead and unloaded. Hail, snow, wind at 50 miles an hour, and lightning cracking like the whip of an angry hand. The two never came home. 6 days later, search crews, volunteers, deputies, helicopters, folks who loved them, found them side by side. No wounds, no bear fight, no fall. Just gone quiet, felled by a current that grounded through a tree and into their bodies. That's lightning for you. Half mystery, half math. And it rattles me, because these weren't greenhorns. They knew storms, they knew gear. They'd crouched by plenty of fires and read the moods of plenty of ridgelines. But you can't outplan a bolt from heaven. Families back east and out west waited on word, prayers tangled with dread. A fiancé in North Carolina kept rereading his last Garmin message. In Utah, Ian's can held on to hope until hope itself gave way. When the coroner said lightning, it felt both cruel and clean. No fear, no pain, just a flash and gone. We like to think experience buys us insurance. Possums in Ashley County survive by playing dead, bobcats by springing quick, whitetails by slipping into cane and shadow. Even black bears, once run near extinct in Arkansas, clawed their way back with human help. Every creature's got a strategy, but for Andrew and Ian, no strategy could match a storm's timetable. That's the paradox. Seasoned woodsmen, undone not by mistake, but by the simple fact of being there when the sky decided otherwise. So what do we do with a story like that? Some folks turn it into warning labels, download a weather app, follow the 30-30 rule, crouch low and ditch the metal. Others tuck it into faith, God's will, heaven's timing. Me, I reckon it's a reminder that wild country isn't a backdrop for our adventure. It's the main character. We're the guests, sometimes welcome, sometimes not. I keep circling back to their last hunt. Maybe that morning they saw a bull elk bugle steam into the cold air. Maybe they shared coffee from a blackened pot, grinning at each other with that mix of hope and fatigue only hunters know. They didn't walk into the storm empty. They walked in full of friendship, skill, stories yet to be told. And though the lightning cut 'em down, it can't erase the way they lived, leaning into the wind, chasing something bigger than themselves. Around here in Arkansas, we've got our own brush with suddenness. Flash floods that rise overnight, tornadoes that dance through fields, a cottonmouth coiled where your boot lands. We learn to respect it, but we never master it. Andrew and Ian's story could be any of ours stretched across a different ridge. So let's raise a thought, maybe even a prayer for 'em tonight. And the next time thunder grumbles low and the aspens tremble, remember two young men in the San Juans, bow hunters who loved the chase, brothers in adventure, who remind us that life's not just fragile, it's electric. And if you find yourself out in a storm, don't be too proud to duck low, pack it up, or wait it out. Nature doesn't care how tough we look. She's got a quicker trigger than any rifle. But she'll still let us marvel at elk bugles, bear tracks, or even a peacock strutting in some southern yard, if we stick around long enough. That's the wink in the story. Respect the sky, cherish your hunt, and never forget that every bolt of lightning is both a warning and a wonder.